walrus saved your life? Why are you doing this?
Are you really mourning your humanity? I don't understand. Who in the hell would want to be human?
From writer, director, and podcaster Kevin Smith.
I'm so scared. This guy wants to turn me into an animal or something. I don't want to die in Canada.
Tusk.
A walrus...
HuluPlus.com. It's a premium streaming TV destination that seeks to captivate and connect viewers with stories they love. Want to know where you can watch it?
Yes.
On your computer?
I guess so.
On your smart TV?
No.
On your Roku?
No, it was cocoon.
On your Apple TV?
Not above TV.
On your Xbox?
Above.
On your Wii? Ew, that's gross, right? Wii?
Yep.
But the best thing is you can watch more past seasons, more original series, and 800 plus Criterion Collection movies. How many of those 800 movies have you watched? Have you watched them all?
No.
It says right here that your brand, voice, and tone should be playful, curious, confident, authentic, honest, caring, and down to earth. You're not being any of those things. You can watch all the current episodes of your favorite shows at home or on the go. No. Don't ever shush me when I'm talking about HuluPlus.com. Never do it. Never.
You funny.
The best time to watch TV is when it's cold outside, right? When it's too cold, then we don't want to go outside and ride our bikes or anything.
Dada, I love bike.
You want Dada to ride bikes with you?
Yes.
Okay, Dada will ride bikes with you.
No, but you buy it.
I will do that, but only if we attach iPads to the bikes and we can watch HuluPlus.com while we're riding our bikes. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yes.
But you know what? We're going to give Tell 'em Steve Dave subscribers the hookup. This is a secret. Shh. Don't tell the secret. Shh. Shh. Go to HuluPlus.com/TESD and you're going to get a free extra week, which makes it a 2-week free trial. And then you can go and you can watch entire seasons of South Park, Family Guy, Party Down.
I'm nice.
You nice me?
Yes.
We're best friends?
Yeah, best friends.
We are best friends. And best friends watch HuluPlus.com/TESD together, don't they? They do everything together. Except watch Kardashians and Real Housewives because they suck. I don't even know why they're on here. But everything else we like, that is a bad word. And now you're in trouble for saying it. That's it. You're punished. HuluPlus.com/TESD. Well, it was nice knowing you. Go take your bath, Scroungy.
I take you, hey.
Or go on, Dirty. Get out of here. Go take your bath, Dirty Bird.
I take you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, hey.
Dude, are you gay and you only want to fuck this slob once a year?
I'm horrified at myself. I hate myself. I got some guy at my job trying to get me fired, writing me up for little things like doing karate moves. Tell him, Steve Dave.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tell 'em Steve Dave. You have your three musketeers, BQ,
hello,
Walt, and myself, and a fourth musketeer.
My favorite.
The odd musketeer out.
Sunday Jeff's here again?
No.
You can't get rid of Sunday Jeff.
It's Sunday Jeff doing his best Gitem impression. Oh dear.
I think I figured out you're not doing Droopy. You're doing Huckleberry Hound.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you remember the blue dog, Huckleberry Hound? I think you're doing him.
Huh.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
Oh, maybe. No, wasn't Droopy Dog the one the elevator opened and he was like, oh, dear. Droopy Dog?
Yeah. I think you're doing Huckleberry Hound.
I remember Huckleberry Hound. I remember him singing that song. I just remember the "Oh Dear" being.
Yeah, "Oh Dear" doesn't leap to mind when I think Droopy. So what are we going to get into first? We're going to get into the serious stuff first. We're going to get into some light stuff first. I have.
We got all the NFL's problems.
Yeah,
there's a lot of serious issues, but I think this most serious issue at the table, on the table, under the table, off the table is Gitem, Steve, Dave, and me. Our riff.
Okay. Then the Adrian Peterson stuff will wait until a little bit later. And we will address... so you asked Gitem down here today to...
No, I did not. I have no idea why he's here. I was shocked. I walked outside and I saw him hanging out with you in the parking lot.
Right.
And I thought you called him here.
Well, we're roommates now.
Why are you guys hanging out in the parking lot?
We happened to pull up at the same time, and we were talking because I went to Richmond, Virginia, WizardCon this past weekend, and military guy, good guy, Chris, and he had a buddy with him whose name I can't recall, but he gave us some of those challenge coins and a special Zippo for Gitem.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which has seen... Action. Yeah, 2 wars. 2 wars, he said.
That's incredible.
It is.
Gitem, do you feel like this is the start of, just a mass acceptance? Like now you're just getting nice gifts.
It's beautiful.
Like, that's actually a meaningful.
Yeah, it's not the first time someone sent me a Zippo.
Right, but that's been through two wars.
Yeah, stuffing, and I have a special shelf in my collection for military Zippos.
Other people have sent Zippos, but I've ordered them and paid for them.
This is a nice coin.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good looking, right?
Nice lighter.
Why is it called a challenge coin?
I don't know.
If I recall correctly, it's like they put a call out, and whoever has the highest rank or the highest coin wins, and whoever's lower has to buy the drinks.
Is this like Pogs?
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like that one metal thing that you had to bounce to the slammer it was called. Challenge coin. All right, we're all going to learn a little something unless you already know what it is. Challenge coin is a small coin or medallion. I guess it doesn't have to be specifically military. It's carried by an organization's members. Traditionally, they are given to prove membership when challenged and to enhance morale. So what we need to do is get a couple of Tell 'em Steve Dave challenge coins,
That's
obviously.
not bad. These have taken over the FTNY. I've seen a lot of firehouses get these made.
Really?
Yeah.
So we get these made, and we have the emblem of the ant, of course, and then the ants carry them, and when challenged, do you listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave? You bust out your challenge coin and say go fuck yourself.
You're going to lose that challenge every time if you're just walking up to random people and asking do you listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave?
Yeah, but they could do like I do. I use my Whalers coin as a bar marker when I go to the bar. I put it on top of my money so the bartender knows that's my money and that I'm still there, so...
Yeah, wouldn't that be thrilling?
Yes, it would be.
You're really.
I really have not had it.
He chapped your ass on this, huh?
Yeah.
So much so you're costing the ants a challenge coin.
Listen to this bullshit, Q.
Okay.
So, who has been Gitem's biggest supporter amongst us three?
You. I wanted him shot, fired, and quartered at one point. Johnson,
you've been disinterested from the start. You've shown very little interest in him.
Gitem's not your boy.
I can't say that I've supported him. No,
you haven't really come down on. You're just kind of like, I really don't care if he's around or he's
like
not.
melanoma. You've just kind of accepted. He's on you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I've never gone the bat for him. Right. I don't believe.
Yeah, I escalate too wildly. One week I love him, one week I hate him.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But you've definitely been the one who was like,
you've had him by your house to help you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm being mocked for happening to meet up with him in the parking lot. You're the guy who's had him over for dinner.
I wasn't mocking you. I just thought it was strange you guys were hanging out back by the dumpsters.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Walt.
We're looking for your phone.
So I've always been the guy that's been like, we should include Gitem in more stuff. I put him on the Vinyl Cast album cover.
That's right, the focus.
I mean, the centerpiece. Yeah.
Centerpiece. I've always been a proponent when there was a lot of ants who were trashing him and saying they've had, I was like,
when he stole our website.
And I always said he never stole it.
Sure.
You can't steal something that never belonged to us.
Q and I were disgusted with him at that point, and you still did.
Well, he offered us for like $300, then raised the price to $700. So there was definitely a lot of controversy.
Yeah, once he tripled the price,
Right.
I never once ever wavered though in my
No.
support and my.
You called him a visionary.
Yeah.
For getting
He
that
can't be
website.
punished and be tarred and feathered for having the foresight to get that domain, never dreaming that there would be a podcast called that.
Right.
And I thought it was unfair for him to be slagged on.
Right.
You stood up
Thank
for
you.
him.
Thank you.
And I feel positive that's paid
It's
you back
over.
in dividends.
It's
no,
over.
it has not?
I don't
I feel
understand
like it's
what's
about to
happened.
change.
I don't know what's happened in my life. That I have reached out to this person on numerous occasions and pulled my hand back and just to have Gitem shat all over it.
Right. You pull your hand back, it's soiled.
It stinks.
It reeks
He sprayed your hand.
of Gitem's musk.
So I time and time again I come to him and ask him, "Hey, do you want
I
to?"
want a cologne. Get him musk. Oh, I wish we had. Okay, I'm sorry.
On numerous occasions, I've offered him a chance to be part of the Tell Him Steve Dave podcast, behind the scenes, to come up with ideas, come up with stuff, and be a part of it on a bigger.
He's at every comic book men premiere party. I don't. I know somebody invites him to that.
I make it. I always make it an effort to give his name out, and if there's, if there's ever any special events with CBM related that he can be a part of, I give it to the producers.
Right.
And I've also asked him time and time again to be a part of Tell Him Steve Dave in different various ways. The most recent time, he told me he was too tired or too busy to do those dream recordings.
Right.
But
Something that
I-
would have taken 30 seconds.
But I did submit to you. You asked me for a bunch of ideas
Right.
that were that was superhero comic related, and I came up with a bunch of them.
Right.
I was there when Walt was receiving them, and he would look at it and be like, "What the fuck?"
Okay.
So Q. So after that, I extended the olive branch again. I was like, "Don't worry about it. Get him.
Right.
Let's come up with something together. Let's come up with some sort of like really cool game together."
Well, he's a troubled individual.
This olive tree has no more branches left.
It's crazy. You've handed him the olive stump. The last.
So
root
I
left.
said, "Hey, I'm done shooting comic book men. We should get together and come up with some really cool game ideas. Me and you."
Did you really write that?
I wrote this. I wrote this to him. Yeah,
That's really
yes.
nice.
On
All joking aside,
Eight 26.
yeah.
Okay.
I said, let's get together. Let's not
Right.
do it over the internet. And let's get together and go out for lunch or something. I said, because I'm done shooting comic book man.
You and I have never had.
No.
Coming on 20 years. I've never gone for lunch.
No get-togethers.
All right.
So this is the email I get back, which is fine. This one's good. I'm thinking like, okay, he still likes me. Okay, let me know a day and time. I could use a distraction. I don't know if you want me to cut this out, but it says, I got some guy at my job trying to get me fired, writing me up for little things like doing karate moves while directing traffic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you want that in here, but
That's
I don't need an
professional,
explanation
by
for
the
that.
What?
To be doing karate moves while you direct the traffic.
But you see that all the time on the internet, like the traffic cop who dances.
Oh, that was,
and all that other
It was in
stuff.
the other guys. Mark Wahlberg did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a fictional movie.
You're not-
But there's guys in
Wahlberg.
Singapore who do it. They're traffic cops in
Yeah, but you're
Singapore.
directing traffic. This is America. Like people.
You're not getting paid to fucking be clever
Right.
out of where you're at.
And also, karate moves are much more aggressive than little dance moves, probably.
But anyway,
Do you know karate?
No.
that shows me right there. He's not even interested. He just wants to tell me about the karate moves. He's not interested in setting up the
Well, what it
day
tells me,
or
Walt-
coming up with ideas.
It tells me that he needs a creative outlet because work is not giving it.
And
to him.
I'm trying to give it to him. So then I write back, okay, next week is no good, but any day The following week works. Any time works. Let's get together and come up with something between now and then. Doesn't need to be fleshed out. Just some loose thoughts and concepts. So give me a day or time. Never responded.
Now, actually, I went back to the origin of this thread, and it came from me.
What's that?
Because
Are you guys talking on email or
Yeah.
on Twitter?
Email.
yeah,
Email.
Emails.
because I'm starting to remember. I don't remember most of this night. I do remember this part though.
Why don't you remember it?
It was my Tuesday night. I was out drinking.
And you only do that on Tuesdays?
Yeah, I usually do it on Tuesday nights.
Why Tuesdays?
Because I have Wednesday off, and I've recovered from working Monday. So
Recovered.
I know.
And one of my favorite bartenders is usually working out my bar. So
He's all worn out. From
Just, you know what? I don't
fucking
even
doing
care.
his kata.
Does anybody care about the origins? Just tell me what, like, you're not interested.
no, I up until
Was I too harsh with you about, did you hear him about, I wanted you to get cancer from smoking? Is that what you thought?
no, I do not. That was
That was a
only
joke.
recently.
Do you
That was only
smoke?
recently. What?
Do you smoke?
Occasionally, yes.
Why? Why would
just-
you smoke?
it's
You're a
just-
smart guy. At least I
It's
always
a social thing.
I always felt like you were the most intelligent guy in the room when you're in the room.
Yeah.
Did you?
When he's alone in the room.
Did you?
I really think he's way, way, way smarter than anybody in the room. He just plays this yokel from.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt he's an intelligent guy. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
There's no part of me that ever thinks that.
So why do you smoke?
It's just a social thing. Like when if I'm at work and I'm around somebody who smokes, I usually bum a smoke off them. Or if I'm out at the bar, I bum a smoke off somebody else. I usually pay for them 50 cents.
Is it your way of like
making friends,
interacting?
Let's see it. Sometimes you go out, you go outside, you talk. It's almost like the water cooler thing, or to people who, well, there's some people they don't get a break at work unless they smoke, and then they start taking up smoking.
Could you imagine, can you imagine, I have so much going on, and I keep fucking getting snubbed left and right by Gitem.
I honestly,
It's absolutely horrifying.
Man,
I should be
really is.
ashamed.
It's bewildering.
He should be swinging from your nuts. Is what you're saying. He's
No,
not. He's not.
I should be ashamed, that I'm trying this hard, and he just keeps just slamming the door in my face. I mean, really, I'm an idiot because I don't pick up on the signs of leave me alone.
Is that what it is? Get him.
I honestly do not. I do not remember that email exchange up until I started reading it. Then it kind of, like I said, it started coming back into focus.
Up to this point, I always thought Walt was the smartest guy in the room, and now that I see you're pursuing Gitem so relentlessly, I'm starting to second guess that.
I'm definitely not the smartest guy in the room. The smartest guy in the room wouldn't fucking continually get slapped across the face.
Small point about smoking. Troy texted me.
What happened? Your impassioned plea, which wasn't that impassioned?
It wasn't that impassioned. It didn't need to be because he had quit a couple months earlier.
All right, so it worked.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we did our job that
Yeah.
day.
Why didn't you
we
watch that
saved his
video?
life.
I just much like get him. I just forgot about it.
Oh,
That could have been. You could have been onto something there.
I still can.
We could have known this by now.
people are still waiting for it on Reddit.
Well, get him. Will you make one now? Will you quit? Will you make a video quitting?
I don't have a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, well, maybe after
Will you
this.
will you just give us your word you'll never smoke again? Ever?
And then you challenge someone else.
You can't do that.
No,
Why?
it's a tough thing to.
Well, how many packs of cigarettes you smoke a week?
He's
I don't
addicted.
need you to actually quit.
He
I just
smokes
need
one
you to,
cigarette a week.
Yeah, it's sometimes 1 or 2 a day.
Really? You smoke a
Oh,
cigarette?
so that's your steady smoker.
It's like if I go to like Monday, I had none because I don't work with anybody who smokes on Mondays. But like during the,
Oh, what a bum.
I pay for them. I pay 50 cents a cigarette. I pay 50 cents a cigarette. That's a good price.
Well, again, look, I'm horrified at myself. I hate myself. I hate myself right
you
now.
know,
Listening to that, and I'm
growing up in the Johnson
I'm
household.
like trying like a madman to get him to be my friend.
I know.
And this is the shit that comes out of his mouth.
That's what he does, Walt. That's his trick. That's what he did to me. Remember I said I felt like an abused wife. Like I love that. I love him. I want him to just stop, and I just stay. I don't.
You won't quit right now.
Will you make the video? Who cares if you quit?
No, it has to be legit.
Well, the video's more important than him quitting, I think.
But you're a smart guy. Why do you smoke though? You know the ramifications of this, right?
I feel 1 or 2 a day doesn't really
Why do you feel that way?
impact that way. Because I figure I get this much.
Why do you think?
Because I live in New Jersey, and I get as much smoke from probably a bus driving by than I do from a single cigarette. And now the cigarette's filtered.
Oh my god! The bus exhaust isn't.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that for a really nice, because I think that if you did it, I think we had somebody nobody even heard of do it last week.
Right.
I don't think
if you step up to the plate and do it, and that video will go viral. I mean, you know how much you love to be viral, right?
Yeah.
It's like your driving thing, right? With drunk, you get more looks than that drunk story time ever got.
Like I said, I don't think I could say I could quit forever. It's it's a lot to do.
Well, at least he's being honest,
Yeah.
I wish he wasn't so fucking honest with me.
Yeah.
Like so blunt.
He tramples your feelings.
All right, that's all I got to say.
Oh, that was it?
That's it. I wish you. I thought you brought him here. I was really annoyed at you. I didn't realize that you didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's no way. Really? You thought I contacted him? I'm like, get him. Come down to the store.
Really get him once.
We're doing Tell Him Steve Dave tonight.
I was like, why did he call?
That's a lot to assume.
But then I was like, well, he didn't know I'm pissed at him, so. But it was reactionary.
So I was forgiven.
I sensed you were mad at me, and I came down to apologize.
No, you didn't. You're lying. You came down to drink.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's Tuesday. Oh, that's the bar you go to? Because we saw you outside of the bar that day. That's the bar you go to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many hours do you spend there? We saw you there at like 2:00 in the afternoon.
If it's a day like that, I usually go home like around 6:00 because I have to go home and feed. So unless I'm meeting somebody, then I'll stay for a little later.
And you're too busy to answer my email or set up a lunch date.
Like I said, I honestly forgot that one. Otherwise, I mean, there was. From when I looked, there was 8 emails in that conversation. It just slipped my mind.
I'm going to make this a little worse for you, Walt.
It can't get any worse, can it? I'm fucking begging Gitem to be my friend. Can it get any worse?
Gitem and
Mad at your friend of 35 years for bringing him by.
Tell me how it gets worse, Q.
Gitem and I text each other quite often.
Yeah.
We do. Like we'll just so he's I'll be at work and I'll just get a text from Gitem. And you know how I am at answering texts. I don't always do it. Sometimes they just go by.
This guy's my witness.
Yeah.
Before you got here today, he goes, "Hey, which one of you guys is this number?" Bop, 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 bop. And Brian goes, "It's Walt's." So he doesn't even know.
Are you kidding me? You don't even have his number in your phone?
No, I texted him. He didn't know it was me. He doesn't even. That's how little I mean to the guy.
No, it's my Google Voice number.
He didn't, right, Brian? This is truth, right? You know what? That stung too.
Wait, do I have your Google Voice number or your phone number?
Yeah, my Google Voice number.
I don't even have his fucking cell phone number. I have his Google Voice number. This is unbelievable.
It rings through my cell phone because it ends in GESD. It ends in GESD.
I'm on
You're on Practical Jokers, Q. You get 2 shows.
Didn't you bring him to the premiere of the Impractical Joker?
Because it ends. No, it's
he gives the phone number that strippers give out to like people at the end of the night.
Like the last digit is off and shit.
I got that number.
What bizarre world is Gitem living in that like he has people who are on TV pursuing him and he can't be bothered to give them the time of day?
I will take it a step further, Walt. There have been times on set in Practical Jokers where they'll be like, all right, come on, we got to get to work. We got to get to work. And I'll be texting Gitem, and I'll be like, all right, just give me 1 second. I got to finish this text. So I've held up
a show,
a major
television
production,
show.
Right, just to text Gitem's fucking Google Voice. I didn't know that. I thought I was on the inner circle.
You thought you were in his little black book.
Yeah, I thought, but I guess
you just like.
But no, that's a number you can get more.
You're no better than me.
Because it rings all my telephones.
Wait, what?
It rings all my telephones. If you call me,
how many telephones do you carry with you?
Well, no, it rings my home phone and it rings my cell phone.
Oh, I think people had enough.
I feel so bad about myself right now. Yeah.
The thing about that, you just realized that right now. I've been carrying this since August 26th, and I realized.
You feel bad about yourself, Q. At least like you. At least you've been waffling. Like Walt's been nonstop supportive for 4 years. and still can't get a return email over something like, "Hey, do you want to be involved in something cool?" Not like, "Do you want to help me move my couch again?"
I generally liked the guy. I generally liked him. I thought he was a good dude, but I guess there's always that guy in high school, though. Like, right? You know that guy? You're like, yeah, he's a good guy, but I can't deal with him.
Yeah.
I just don't like him. I don't know why. Just no explanation. I'm that guy. I've always been that guy.
Not to me.
Yeah, at times I was.
What,
Can I
I
just
didn't
be
like
in a
you?
weird place in my life right now?
Are you in a weird place?
A little. I just, it's been.
Just started when you were born. You're weird. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about that? Because you and I had a conversation the other day. I didn't want to get into it with you.
Yeah,
I didn't want to discuss it on air because
it's been a weird spot I've been in the past couple weeks, and not being able to sleep and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
And
how come you won't?
I don't. I really
you want to divulge it?
I can't really put a finger on it.
It would make me feel better if it was something that at least made me realize, okay, it's not me.
I think it's partly work. It's partly one of my friends who we've been having a little bit of a.
He has been texting
Is it
me.
that friend that
A fight?
that we always see you with?
Yeah.
You had a fight?
Yeah.
What's the fight about?
The other night she got off work. She's like, "Oh, come over." So I went over. She's like, "Let's go out for lunch." I said, "Okay." Went out for lunch.
Fucking
So why do you gotta say that? Why can't
fucker.
He's rubbing it in your face now. Oh my god.
No. Lunch ended up being the bar. So we went down to the bar and we were drinking for a while, and one of her coworkers showed up, and then the next thing I know,
she ran away?
The next thing I know, she left with one of her coworkers and two other guys I'd never seen before, and they put her into the back of a car and they took off.
Left him with the bill.
So how old
Put her
is
in
she?
I mean, it sounds like she was kidnapped.
Someone came in to me and was like, "That looks sketchy. What's going on out there?" And I tried to run out there. I even copied down the license plate number of the car. That's
Have
how
you
sketchy.
spoken to her since?
She's spoken to me. I haven't replied because I've just been so pissed off about it.
Oh, you
It's
didn't
just
tell me any of this.
Help.
Well,
Just the license plate.
Yeah.
yeah.
The taillights kicked out.
What day was that, Gitem?
That would be, was it Friday?
Was it August 26th?
No, it was like a couple days after that.
I
It
will
was
say
almost
this
3 weeks ago.
in his defense, Walt. His texts to me he's been pretty upset.
Really?
He's been like seeking.
You should see the text I sent my wife when I'm like, Gitem won't talk to me. All right, so he's not the only
Your
one who
wife
fucking
is saving
feels
them
it.
for her lawyer, dude. Don't send those texts.
I talked to her, and I tell her he still hasn't called me. He still hasn't emailed me back.
She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
That guy who helped me move the couch?
every time."
The Amish guy?
Bring it up. She's like, "Oh." She could never remember.
Oh, those Amish guys aren't allowed to email me text.
Within the same conversation, she's like, "Who?"
All right, so you've been having some rough times.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
All right. Then I guess maybe it is me. So I'll let it go then. All right.
What was her explanation for getting in the car with those dudes?
I still haven't talked to her, and I didn't get up until the other night, I didn't even get an apology.
Is she still?
No.
She's single now.
No, she has a boyfriend.
Is it not the same? It was not the guy.
Different guy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's just running through guys, huh?
Yeah.
And she's got the fucking guy right there. I think too, though. And she just doesn't know. She can't see the fucking trees through the forest like I can.
Q gave her some sage-like advice last time.
Really?
I'm good at giving advice, dude.
No, you gave her advice.
Yeah, what did I give it? That's what I mean. What did I tell her?
Restraining order.
At least give him a hand job, I think.
Oh, yeah. I said give him a hand job. That's right. I'm like, come on, give the guy a hand job. Did she give you a hand job?
Now, are you suggesting the same to Walt?
It may not work in every scenario, but who knows? Let's give it a shot.
She should have given you a hand job. That's not right. That's not right. Have you told her that the way she could fix this rift between you two is a hand job?
No.
Well, try it.
No.
Would you accept the hand job as a form of an apology from her?
No, because she's got somebody.
Oh, God, I don't know what to do.
He's got to move on.
Yeah, maybe you're just done with her.
Well, he said earlier that there was a little bit of hankus-pankus that took place over the weekend with
It wasn't
an
the
unnamed...
Really?
That was actually right before the emails, if I recall correctly. That was the 25th.
What was his name?
He's naming so many distractions as to why he wasn't able to email back.
I mean, everybody at this table realizes that we're doing a podcast for 4 people at this point, right? Like, nobody's listening but us, right?
I think you're wrong.
Yeah?
'Cause that's where the text message came from. Walt texted me that there was somebody at the stash looking for me.
Yeah, I still reached out to you because I felt like I didn't want to, but Mike was like, "Hey, there's somebody here who likes Gitem, I think," and I'm like, "You know what? Should I let my personal feelings for him right now affect the chance of him maybe making a love connection or something?" So, yet again, I reach out and do something I think is the right thing to do.
And
Sure.
it was a good thing.
And it was, again, but still nothing in return. And I'm not asking for much other than your time.
Or
an acknowledgement.
All right, let's move on, Brian. What else you got? I'm tired of talking about fucking Gitem.
Okay, yeah, fuck Gitem.
But wait, did you just tell me that Get him hooked up with someone and I missed it?
No, I have no idea if
What happened?
He came in and said that he maybe. I mean, we're not going to name names, but some action took place with
Name
a certain.
Well, name it.
I'll say she's an aunt.
Right.
She's a 13%er.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
rising,
yeah,
huh? I thought it was
he texted
12.
me about this too.
No, it's up to 13.
How do you know?
Because Ming told me.
How does Ming know?
I don't know. I asked him the other day because there was I wanted to tweet a picture of a girl who said when I was in Virginia that she listened to Tell Him Steve Dave, and I said, is it still 11%? And Ming said, no, it's 13% now. I guess that was the last survey.
Why are you
number.
saying like Ming has no idea what the percentage
Yeah, he
is?
does. He's got that pie graph that comes up when you look at.
So how on earth would you know though? Like who? Every time it downloads, you don't get what sex is downloading
they
it.
always have that info. Yeah,
No
iTunes.
way.
Sure, I bet you they know.
Well,
All right,
if we're
let's
going,
go.
if
All
we're
right,
going
let's
by
just
our
take
survey, we're going to call it
13%.
13%ers.
All right. So who is it? Declan could bleep it. Well, who is
Here, I'll just. I don't know even how to spell it.
Yeah, I don't know if you would know who it is, Q.
it? Really? Can we call her up on Twitter or something?
We could.
Why don't you want to talk about this, kid?
Yeah, that's not. It's a gentleman doesn't
Oh, I don't know that person.
kiss and talk.
I think
that
you
the way you
would
say it?
recognize her.
Yeah,
if you,
okay.
yeah, I think so.
What's the saying? A gentleman doesn't
Kiss and tell.
Kiss and
Kiss and
tell.
tell, that's it.
Yeah.
What did you do, dude?
Well, he didn't bang her. It didn't sound like he banged her, right?
Did she give you a hand job?
No.
Blowy? Really?
Did you touch her tits? He stopped.
Did you fondle her boobs?
Did you get a little nip action?
She's got big boobs. You fondle her boobs?
What are you giggling about?
I know. He's like, tee-hee.
No.
That's the boyish charm that everyone loves about Gitem right there.
now, that's if you listen, you hear all those girls.
All right, what's on
Just
your
calling
agenda,
card.
Brian? What do you
Calling
want to talk
card.
about first? Now that the Gitem,
All right.
the Gitem summit is done.
Let's see. We could talk about the big old Wizard Con down in Virginia. I went down to Richmond, Virginia. Drove down Washington traffic. Like Q, you've driven in New York. You've driven in L.A.
Yeah.
This Washington traffic,
The Beltway.
I've never seen anything like
It's
it.
horrible.
Like it was making me like mad and upset how long we were just fucking sitting there.
Really?
Yeah, it's just and
Who you
I
in
was
the car
texting
with?
Ming. It was me, Suzanne, and Sage. I brought them down for the weekend. And I was texting Ming because he used to live in the area, and he said, yeah, it's like that every day. And I'm wondering what is the mentality, the mindset of a person who has that level of patience or acceptance that like, this is it. I'm just going to have to sit in this every day. Like,
What's the other options? Mass transit?
move. Yeah. Well, I think their mass transit sucks, and that's the reason that everybody, which is weird for Washington.
I mean, if your job and your family is based in that area, I mean, it's
Yeah, what
hard.
are you
It's
gonna
not a simple solution to be like move. It's like a lot of people live in shithole areas, and they're like, just move. It's not that easy just to up and leave your
I
surroundings.
suppose you're right. It'd be rough, though. Oh, my God, it would be rough.
And I don't mean shithole. I mean shitholes
Traffic-wise.
traffic-wise.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have to drive into Manhattan fucking every day.
Yeah?
I
Does
deal
it take
with
you a long time?
Some days I can get anywhere in Manhattan in less than 40 minutes. Other days it takes me 2.5 hours. And there's never any rhyme or reason, so you don't know when you got out of bed that day what you're getting. There's just no way to tell.
Keeps you on your toes, though, doesn't it? You don't know what's going to happen.
I guess. I
Maybe
mean,
sitting in traffic for 4 hours. Maybe sitting in only 2.
Yeah, exciting life you're leading.
so great.
So unpredictable.
It's amazing.
Then we ran into fucking like horrendous thunderstorms where like you can't see anything. And I don't like driving at night anymore. I've reached the age where like I can't see nearly as well at night, especially in stormy conditions. So I'm driving like 40 miles an hour on a fucking turnpike. It took us forever to get there.
You're that guy that everyone hates to be behind.
No, I mean, under normal conditions at night, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I might be. Because I have like to get those halos, you know. But anyway, we finally get there. We left at 4. We didn't get there until Christ. It had to be like midnight. It took fucking forever. And I go to check in, give my name, and they're like, "We don't have a reservation for you."
And that's you have to realize it. Like that's almost now. You just expect that, right?
No, like, of course you don't.
Right.
Of course you don't. So let's go on to the next.
You should not be phased at this point that something is going to get messed up.
I got to be honest with you. I wasn't phased.
Right? It's just par for the course.
It's
You're on comic book man.
Right. Yes. I'm not.
You're not on a show that people are going to make sure you got a room for.
Right. I'm not that guy. I'm not.
You never walked to a hotel room and say you're like, we don't have a room for you, Q?
No, that hasn't happened. But he's going to cons like every week. I mean, I'm sure that would happen eventually.
Yeah, like Bruce.
People don't give a shit about Impractical Jokers anymore, dude.
No?
No.
That's not true.
No.
I think
I hear a lot of people.
He's just being humble.
I'm not. I'm really not. I said it to Sal the
it.
other day. I said it to Sal the other day. I said,
Is it over?
I think we're on the other end of the.
Should we kill ourselves?
You're on the other end of the hump?
We're the other end of the popularity crest.
Let's go. Oh, my goodness.
I think, yeah.
No, that's
I
not
do
true.
think.
What'd Sal say?
He said he hopes not because he just bought a new fucking apartment. So
When you said you were going to be at the track, I went to the upper management and I said, "Is it true Impractical Jokers is recording?" They go, "They are."
Yeah.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah.
Did you
I'm not saying that
CQ
people
there?
are repulsed by us.
No, he never came to record.
We were supposed to. They canceled shooting that day, but I'm not saying they're repulsed by us or we don't come on the radar at all. Get them. I'm just saying, like.
So what leads you to believe? What has happened that made you go, you know what? We're on the down.
We're on the downtick, yeah.
It might just be my own feelings.
They're like you've walked into every hotel and they've had a room for you, right?
Yeah. He's like, if I wish it hard enough, it'll happen.
Marriott rewards card.
Talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Every hotel he walks into, they treat him like they're ready to call 911.
Yeah. They're like, sir, we don't have a public bathroom. But so, of course, they don't have my
They have
name.
rooms, though.
Well, I was like, wait a second. My phone died during the trip.
Right.
So I'm like, shit, I can't even look at my email. Then I remembered I have my iPad. So I look at my email and I said, oh, wait, I have a reservation number. So I give them the number and they say, what's your name again? I said, Brian Johnson. They said, okay, it's under Adam West. and I said, well, that's like in my mind, I'm like, why would they do that? Like, because a lot of times, like you do, I'll give a different name.
I never do that.
So, oh, really? I thought you said that you give different names to check in.
He doesn't do that anymore. He's on the downward spiral.
Right, yeah. Now nobody gives
Now
a fuck.
Last week he had to. You give different names?
No, I'm saying I never did that.
I thought you said you did. That it was
No.
because people would come to your room and
No,
call
we
the room.
put a do not disturb.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've never given like a fake name or anything like that.
Yeah, but you do give fake names?
Yeah.
I do, yes.
Brian
Because
Johnson?
I had to because people were calling the room and stuff, and it became annoying. you
When?
know. What con was it?
doubt
There
it.
was one con where two people called. There was another con where one person called, and they don't like one person just yelled "snookins" and hung up. The next person didn't say anything.
You sure it wasn't Mike or
And then
Ming?
the second kind of like, oh, Snoogies! I'm like, I'm
Next
too
room over.
popular. But so I give.
Do you remember when I used to call the store when you were working?
Yeah.
And I used to do these elaborate voices. And be like, hello, is Kevin Smith there today? And he would be like,
It would defeat me.
fury. I would just like, and then I'd be like, all right, well, tell him I said hello. Stogan! And I wouldn't tell him it was me. And like, I just heard it in his voice, like, get him all fucked.
Do you remember the time I faxed you a picture of a guy that looked like Dante?
Oh.
And I just wrote next to it, I'm not supposed to be here today.
yeah.
And I called you and I go, did you get that? And you go, some asshole just faxed me his picture. He thinks he's so fucking funny. And I was like, that was me. You were so mad.
I was enraged.
Right?
Yes. 2, I had no idea how funny it actually was because I'm just like, some fucking dickhead thinks you're so fucking funny. Right? And like having no idea that like it really was funny since you did it.
It was just some guy in a newspaper and he had a goatee. That's the only thing that I was like, it looks like Dante, so I just put a word balloon on it and faxed it to him. And he got but I didn't realize he was going to get that mad.
Oh my God, my cheeks hurt. It's so funny.
Yeah, I was mad. I recall that very vividly.
What store was that in? Was it LA?
It was in the old one, right?
It was the old store.
All right.
Yeah, on Monmouth Street.
We had a fax machine for some reason back then.
Well, because
You'd take orders, right?
yeah, we would take orders, and I remember it was like a big thing to get the fax machine because Kevin was like, "Well, just take them on the phone." I go, "Dude, how am I supposed to run a store and take orders on the phone all day? Can I have a fax machine?" Like it became a thing.
Remember I wanted a cordless phone?
What's that?
Remember I wanted a cordless phone when I was working in the office to do it?
Yes. Yeah.
And Kim was just like, I don't know if you can handle a cordless phone.
What was her concern?
She goes, I've only seen one person ever handle a cordless phone well. And that was Monica Hampton. Everybody else just loses them and can't find them. And I was standing in front of her and I was just looking at her like, I mean, I don't even know how to answer this. So I just went down to the stash. I went to Brian. I'm like, Kim thinks I can't handle a cordless phone.
When Q and I first became friends, the frequency with which he would start to come to the store, like completely frustrated, out of his mind, ready to quit. It like sometimes it was multiple times a day.
I mean, it was like two kindred souls, right?
Oh, yeah.
Two fucking miserable fucking tinder boxes.
Yeah.
Fucking colliding in the night. Somehow were able to sate each other enough to not fucking blow up and kill themselves and
Both
somebody
in
else.
the worst possible profession, like retail. Like, totally not built for retail.
I used to finish my work by, I used to come in like, hours were 10 to 6. So I used to come in around 10:30ish and pound out the work for the day in like 2 hours. Like a machine, like, and then just fucking go down to the stash and just hang out with Brian for the rest of the day. And I felt good about it because I got all the work done.
Yeah.
And then I would help run the store and shit like that. And we would just sit there and seethe behind.
But I sent that fax from the community center where I used to work. Because I didn't have no access to a fax machine, but I figured out how to work it back then. And I sent him that fax, and I'll never forget that because I could hear the rage in his voice.
And for some reason, I also recall the phone number that came up was not a number I recognized.
Because it was center. It was a fax machine.
It was the fax number, right? So I didn't recognize it, so I wouldn't have known it was Walt. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill somebody. Like I'm going to kill somebody. Like I was so mad back in those days. I literally called
days.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I remember one day losing it and calling K-Rock, 92.3 K-Rock, and being like, why the fuck do you guys keep playing the same songs over and over again? And like chewed them out, and they were like, well, most people don't listen to the radio for 7 straight hours. And I'm like, yes. That's exactly what I said. I go, well, I have a job where I do listen to the radio. I gave them a bunch of shit, and there's like, there's nothing we can do about the programming. It was that song "Mother," that like "Mother." Tell your children. Oh, I fucking
Danzig,
hated it.
right?
Right?
Oh God, how I hate it! And they would just play it over and over and over.
Remember that
again.
one song they play over and over? It was more wine, waiter, please.
I need a drink that'll knock me off my feet. Too many late nights, not enough. Sleep more, wine, waiter.
Like who rocks out to a song about wine?
Yeah. Wine knocks you off your feet.
If they played it once a day, I'm not lying. That they must have played it 100 times in a 12-hour period.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insanity how many times they played it.
I never even heard this song.
Yeah, it was on the hard rock stations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold
Anyway,
on.
so you have to give. It was the poor. That's
The poor, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was just looking it up. It's
I wonder whatever happened to
good
the poor.
memory. The poor. Let's see. Oh, they were Australian too.
Aussies.
They formed in '88. Let's see. Band member. Okay, well, current members. So
Oh, they're still recording.
they're still
Like
together.
New York tune.
How is it possible? It says they have one album.
Released in America, maybe.
They probably perform.
Who cares? 1994. That is literally the only album listed on Wikipedia. And they have none of the fucking original members are now current members.
You think we can get in trouble if we play a little bit of it right now?
No, we're
I
good.
doubt it.
All right. Well, you guys keep talking. So why do you? So you've got a couple of prank phone calls at your room. So what kind of names do you go
All
under?
right.
I've gone under Kim Bendix,
So you're trying to
Little King Diamond action.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to just
Yeah.
be like Ben Dick. Like you're-
Oh no! I didn't even think of that. Yeah, no, that was the name I used a couple times. So they look up the reservation number, and they say that the Adam West thing, and I'm thinking about like our handlers, the people that set this up. I'm like, why the fuck would they put me under a name of a guy who's fucking here and a guy who's well known? It's like, it's not a fucking funny joke. It's irritating, blah, blah, blah. But they go, okay, well, we'll just, change the name. They set everything up. We go up to the room. And the first thing I notice is that it's not really like the room that a comic book man normally gets.
It's too nice.
It's a suite. It's fucking huge. It has like a separate bedroom. It has a kitchen area with a bar. It has a big living room, all this other shit. And I was like, wow, we're moving up a little bit. We're getting treated well.
Respect.
Right? Yeah.
Those waves of
I
wax.
finally am due.
Yeah,
Has
man.
come.
Yeah.
I'm not on the downward spiral like Q.
No. Q's over. Q's history. Me? I'm fucking
Prize now.
Yeah. I
Q-
just hatched.
Yesterday.
I get a text from Ming maybe 20 minutes later. Adam West is down here enraged that he doesn't have a room. What they did was they fucked up, I guess, the name and the confirmation number. So the room I was in was Adam West's room.
Please tell me you guys shared a room for the weekend.
So now I wish that was the
that
case.
could be a new sitcom.
That would have been fucking phenomenal, but it wasn't the case. I guess they hold back rooms, so they were eventually able to get him another room, but it took a
I
little.
thought, okay, can I present this scenario to you?
Go ahead.
You're in your room, you're all fucking maxed and relaxed. You're like, yeah, I'm fucking finally in, and you get,
I'm like, oh, I wonder who that could be. Room service, probably.
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, management, we gave you the wrong room. This is Adam West's room. You'll have to pack up your stuff. I'm sorry to see you guys all got all unpacked and relaxed and
maxing.
and using the bar and but we're gonna have to give you a different room.
We have to get you to your right room.
Yes, we're gonna have to get you to your.
Okay,
correct
so I've
room.
got a decision to make. Which really isn't my decision. They'd probably eventually call the police if I refuse to leave.
But that would be some pretty shitty customer service to come in and take somebody out of a room that they gave you.
Right. They didn't do that. And I found out later on that.
Yeah, give them props for that.
It
You gotta be. They fucking swallowed it big time. We're like, all right, Johnson's in the fucking penthouse.
Yeah,
suite.
did you hear the major fuck up that happened? That guy nobody knows somehow weaseled his way into a suite.
I'm just picturing Adam West getting your room and him thinking he's on a downward spiral.
Yeah. Like the window, like a huge window with like a sweeping view of the city and all.
But,
that
so
other
you
shit.
you wouldn't throw into like a fucking rage to have the indignity of having to pack up and go to a
If they
different
told me to pack up and leave.
they brought you to the other room and it was the room the room you expected.
The room I expected with like double beds. Yeah.
You wouldn't be like you'd take it in stride.
No, I would not take it in stride. I would be angry as fuck. I would be embarrassed as fuck, you know. I mean, I gotta be honest, it was even a little bit humiliating because like when we walk in, I was like, check this out, Suzanne, I've arrived, you know?
Being in Mike's room like that or no?
Ming and Mike had normal rooms. They were in the double bedrooms.
You had to you let Suzanne in on the fact that you guys were in a weekend, you had a room that you didn't deserve for the weekend? That wasn't yours? You told her that you guys weren't supposed to be there?
Yeah, I told her.
No, you shouldn't have told her.
Yeah,
You kept that just between you and the management.
I guess so. She would have respected me so much more. Things would have changed.
You said you felt embarrassed. You said,
Yeah, it was like
were you talking at it? Were you talking out one side of your mouth like I'm finally here? Look at this shit.
I mean, when we first walked in, I really was like, whoa. Yeah. I felt slightly important. Yeah. I won't lie. Yeah. There was a little bit of me that was like in front of Suzanne. I did like I felt like a little bit of pride.
It hurts too much to hear.
It's painful, right?
That small bit of joy was ignited just so that Adam West could stomp on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
But Ming said he was steaming for a good 20 minutes down in the lobby waiting. He's going, I don't understand why do I not have a room and all this other shit. And then on top of it, actually, when not the first day but the second day of the con, I was coming in the hotel and Adam West was leaving. I go, hey, Mr. West, and he goes, howdy, and just kept walking. There was no recognition. I don't even know if he saw me.
Well,
like he saw me, but he didn't see me. Like
Right.
Who knows if he thinks it was like a fan that was like, oh hey, Mr. West, and he just.
Well, are you allowed to mention this that you know Mr. West?
I guess so. I mean,
it's out of the bag now.
Yeah,
I think it was mentioned in the TV guide right up.
Yeah, I mean, people took
We're in TV
pictures.
Yeah, it a write up. It's mentioned who's on the new season.
Did it talk about me?
I'm sure you were mentioned, bro. I'm sure you were.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't.
Did it take the wind out of your sails a little bit?
Once I wasn't asked to leave and
Were you scared like
and
that was
change
coming?
rooms. There was a part of me that was
you were
like
just waiting for the fucking next
for the
shoe to
call
drop.
for the next call. Yeah.
Emptying out the ball.
Don't answer that phone.
Just Suzanne, rip that phone out of the wall. Are there any others?
Put the couch up against the door. We're not fucking leaving.
Say
Soap
just
out of the kitchen
crying.
to the bathroom.
Data's important. We got to do this. And like the bathroom had like a huge jacuzzi tub and everything. Like it was pimped out. It was nice.
Like all three of you can't leave the room at once. Like somebody's always got to be in the room to prevent them from just grabbing your shit.
So worked up they never enjoyed 1 minute of the fucking weekend.
Right. I never even made it to the con. I'm like, we can't risk leaving the room.
Even up to the last minute of checkout, they're like, they're going to come tell us we got to leave. I know those motherfuckers will.
And she's like, Brian, we got to check out in an hour anyway. I'm like, that's my hour. My hour. Not Adam West's hour. It was pretty bad. The con, and the con was decent. It was lightly attended, I guess. I think what Wizard is doing, because they're under new management, is they've gotten a bunch of cities that they're trying out.
Expanding a little bit.
Right, to see what works, what doesn't. Friday was a half day, Saturday full day, Sunday full day. The Q&A went real well. Garrett Wang of Star Trek.
Yes.
My new buddy.
Yeah?
Moderated the Q&A.
How'd he do?
It was really good. Like, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, really, really nice
What's
guy.
he up to
yeah.
these days?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Ah.
Yeah, I told him he's going to New York, so we're going to hook up in New York and
I wish I was going to be able to make that.
hang out a bit. I met Gus Fring.
Get out, really?
Giancarlo Esposito, yeah.
Very cool. Was he nice?
I emailed Kevin because, and I told him, I said, of course, I loved you in Breaking Bad, but
he's amazing in Breaking Bad.
I said, you're absolutely one of the top 10 villains, I think, of all time on television. And he was real, grateful and shit and nice. And I said, Kevin and I, when we discovered Do the Right Thing, I said, you were the character we quoted most because he played Bugging Out. He seemed more Gus Fring than Bugging Out. Like, he was very reserved. And Ron Perlman, talked to him a little bit.
Yeah, what'd you think of him?
He was standoffish. Because I think he. Oh, you met him? You've met him before?
And my opinion of him was standoffish.
Standoffish.
Not a dick.
No,
There's a difference.
no.
Right, but he wasn't very warm at all. I was like, whoa. I was like, I guess he doesn't like me.
Well, either that or he doesn't like me either.
Yeah.
Because I was in the green room and he came in and stopped and just looked around and he goes, I was really hoping there'd be a couch. And it was crowded, so I think that he was maybe regretting his decision. 'Cause every time I saw him, he was in the green room.
Oh, really?
It's at one point I went in and it was just me and him, and that's when I talked to him for a bit.
Right.
Friendly enough guy, but I wouldn't say overly interested in talking to me.
Yeah, I met a bunch of the Sons of Anarchy guys at a charity fundraiser, and we went backstage, and it's one of those things where you're like, all right, well, we're all here for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're on a TV show, we're all guests of the charity, and they were like, we are the Sons of Anarchy,
And
you are not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the way it went.
That was the way it went, which was a little disappointing because I really like Sons of Anarchy, but
Right.
But they were in no way dicks or not.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy who played Juice, Theo Rossi, went to my high school. He's from Staten Island.
Oh, really?
He graduated a couple of years before me. So I even thought he would be like, oh, all right, well, Farrell High School.
Right, you have that connection.
And
He's like, I'm a son of anarchy.
there was no connection. I quite quickly found out. But again, nice enough guys. And I would say like Doug Benson was a dick to me. But
Doug Benson's a dick to you every time you see him, right?
Fucking time I meet him, he's a dick to me. So I would say if somebody was a dick to me, they weren't dicks. They just weren't very warm.
Have you seen first episode of this season?
Sons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So graphic.
Well,
That opening scene is so brutally graphic.
oh, in the prison?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I almost think Sutter's going out of his way. Because it's the last season, right?
It's the last season.
I think he's going out of his way to give FX 3 middle fingers if possible.
I guess.
Because season 2, he was asked to tone down the violence and he ramped it up.
Oh, I see.
So now it's just
Right.
that one shot with the knife in the head, it was
Yeah.
holy Christ almighty.
I've found that it's making every character on the show unlikable. Who the fuck am I supposed to root for at this
There's
point?
no one to root for anymore.
I mean...
And I never liked Jax. Really, I was never
Sure.
a Jax fan.
I always liked Ron Perlman's character the best.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, that's not an issue.
Him and the other dude,
Tig?
not
Chiz.
Tig, the guy who died, the real cool guy. He died in prison in the fight. The black guys beat him up, killed him.
Oh, Opie?
Opie, yeah,
Opie,
I really
yeah.
liked Opie a
Opie
lot.
was good too.
Yeah,
But I found the opening episode of the season very off-putting because I was like, there's not a single character to like, except for maybe that new guy who's in the gang that they patched him in the last episode of last season.
Oh, right.
He's kind of likable, but everybody else, you're just like, wow, they're all just fucking evil now.
Yeah.
Even what's his name, Jimmy Smits, who was like the most likable character on television. I don't even know what's up with him right now.
Yeah, and who else? Oh, Dean Cain. Had lunch with Dean Cain.
What about Ernie Hudson?
Ernie, I said hello to.
Still don't get many Ghostbusters shit signed
Ernie
by
said
him.
hello
I didn't
to
even think
him.
I have to ask, but now I guess I just got to ask. You're just not going to get me a Ghostbusters anything signed.
I'm sure I'll see him again. So
Right.
yeah. But I think the bigger names may have been Oh fuck! This
I don't
was a
understand. Have
waste
you
of time.
told Ernie Hudson how much I like him? Like, does he know?
He doesn't know. You didn't tell him, right, Walt?
I did.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He goes, "That's awesome."
Oh, well, all right.
He knows. Rest assured, he knows. Q.
Oh, I saw. I tried to avoid him, but I couldn't. I saw Lou.
Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah,
Why'd you try to avoid him?
because I didn't want him to be like, oh, so
You didn't
you're
work out.
you're still fat. Yeah, I was ashamed of myself. My whole weekend was one big fucking shame fest.
Well, Virginia, New Jersey, it doesn't really change, right?
Right, I guess.
Speaking of, the almost final designs are in for the 4-color demon patch.
Get out.
Really? Well,
Work. I didn't want to tell
that
you
is
guys.
a long time in development, Q. That's got to be over 2 years, right?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again until we finally nailed it. But we're in the final things of it, so you'll start seeing some 4-color demon stuff coming too. The only comic book
motorcycle club,
club, and I think that, Walt, I do feel the 4-color demons are going to be the thing that makes us all rich. Rich.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Not
how
a
much
patch. It's a way of life.
And how is it going to?
I
How
don't
much is
know.
this patch going to cost? That's going to make all 3 of us rich.
Oh, I don't. I guess I didn't mean rich in terms of money. I guess I just meant rich in terms of,
Patches that we can't sell.
No, it's not even about, I'm not even looking at it like, you know what? Cut that whole rich thing out, Deck.
Why? Why?
Because I don't think it's going to make us rich.
Well, you want to look like
What I
you
meant-
can make a mistake.
Yeah, what I meant to say was I think it's the thing that's going to make our mark. I think that there's going to be.
This is going to be where we plant our flag.
I think that you're going to see a lot of 4-color demon clubs sprouting out around the country.
Chapters.
The world. Chapters.
Nice.
And this way, when we go to Comic-Cons like New York or we do San Diego, everybody gets their 4-color demon colors on and we meet up. We do some nothing badass because, we're comic book guys and just have a good time. And we get to enjoy the camaraderie of a motorcycle gang without having to actually own a motorcycle or do anything violent.
Motorcycling.
Yeah, you get together, you talk about comics, you got a patch, you got a leather vest on your back. You look badass.
No shirt underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walt looks
I'm
skeptical.
I'm in. Hey, I'm just picturing it.
Yeah. People want to belong. And we're giving them something to belong to.
Since man stepped out of the primordial ooze, they've wanted to
That's
belong
right.
to something.
That's right.
Some group.
And this
Except
is
me.
Right.
Right. Except for Gitem. He's the one guy.
Right. Get him walks alone. He's a lone wolf.
All right.
Wow.
What about what the NFL is going through, Bri?
This Adrian Peterson thing.
Well, you got the 1-2 punch, man. Monday you started off hitting women. By Friday, you're pounding on kids.
Right. Within a week. Yeah, because it was actually last Tuesday we recorded, and that was the day that the Ray Rice video came out where he punched his wife in the elevator.
His
Fiance.
Oh, was his fiance?
They did get married in between the punch and the suspension.
Wow, that would have been fast, right?
Yeah, well, they said that the
so
rumor is
he
that she got married to him so that she couldn't testify against him.
Is that a true rule? I've heard that it's true, and then I've heard that it's not.
I believe there's some legal ants out there who may be able to answer that for you. I don't know.
Let's see.
She could refuse to answer the question anyway on the Fifth Amendment. Because she threw the first punch and then he hit her in retaliation. So
she didn't throw a punch.
Yeah,
did you watch the video?
Yeah.
She just went at him.
Thought they said
she just kind of went towards him, walked towards him.
I thought they said she threw a punch, he returned it, and then that's when she hit the.
Get him. That's no excuse.
Oh, I'm not saying it's an excuse.
That's an odd position for
No,
you to take. Get him that she started the fight.
That's what I heard was that. Yeah.
But the Adrian Peterson thing.
Right.
Get him. I'm only kidding. I know that's what.
I tweeted something about it this morning.
Did you?
I did, because of something Charles Barkley said
That's terrible.
regarding how that's the South, that's the culture. If you're black living in the South, at some point you got to switch it.
He's calling it a black thing.
I
Or a
guess
South
so.
thing?
No, he called it a black
this-
thing because there were people who were like, it's why would you generalize to the point? Why would you generalize that all black people would, were raised like that or have those feelings, or those forms of punishment. So,
where did Charles Barkley say this?
I don't know, whatever show he has or whatever the fuck, he's on TNT. I tweeted, you'd imagine that Barkley would understand that not all practices that were once historically popular in the South should be defended.
That rivals your Joe Papa fucking tweet.
Joe Papa? Yeah.
Joe Papa? What was that?
Papa Joe?
What was that asshole called?
Papa John?
Joe
That's a guy?
Papa Joe. It was Papa Joe, right?
Papa Joe, yeah.
You remember that was one of your, that was where you should have stopped tweeting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, you know what?
I should have ended on that.
Well, you should have just not tweeted nothing else in between that one and this
and
one.
the Barkley one? Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have got a lot more followers, probably.
I honestly, we've been crawling. I feel like we may be on
Joe
down,
Pa was called, right?
Yeah.
Joe Pa.
Yeah, you said something about, you had a really nice, eloquent, but yet still hard-hitting tweet about that whole...
Yeah. I forget what it was,
Penn
but
State
it
debacle.
was about the Penn State idiots fucking defending.
Well, there's people, I mean, so people were upset with this tweet of yours?
No, only one person actually argued it, which was, sometimes spare the rod, spoil the child is necessary when timeouts don't work. I had to go pick my own switch, and I learned my lesson. This is one person. Now, I don't believe in corporal punishment. I don't think it makes no sense. Corporal punishment. Now, if I had to guess, I'm going to guess not once have you raised a hand to either of your girls.
No.
I would be fucking floored if you had, or your wife had.
I understand.
Probably sometimes you wanted to.
But I understand though and I understand that there are other parents who use different forms of discipline.
Right.
Sometimes in the same family.
But now I'm assuming, because of I didn't see the pictures, but I heard there's pictures.
Do you want me to pull them up?
No, I don't want to see them.
They're horrifying.
I don't want to see them. That's why I didn't watch them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see the pictures. Like, you want to see them? There's a reason why I didn't want to see them. But do those pictures paint a picture of somebody? Those injuries have been gotten, or I don't know if that's the proper way, through clothing?
I'm not sure. It doesn't appear so.
Because
it appears that it was
there's a tweet, and I read the tweets between him and the mother of the child going like, I felt bad for the kid. I caught him. I got him. The switch went around and caught him in the nuts. Now, how would he have known that?
Oh, unless he was like
unless the
naked.
Kid had no pants on.
I mean, when you see the kid's leg, it would appear that maybe he was in underwear, wearing shorts.
The only way he would know that he had caught him in the nuts,
right,
as the text between the mother of the child and him, was if he had seen it.
Right.
I've never understood the mentality of somebody who's like, take your pants off and you're going to get a spanking.
Yeah, pull your pants down, get over my knee.
That is so alien and so horrific and so got to be psychological.
You wouldn't even say to a sexual partner, let alone your kid.
It's got to be so damaging, right? Psychologically, to have your
parent tell you to remove your clothing so
that you can spank you.
The humiliation factor is fucking
off the charts.
Yeah, it's multiplied by 1,000.
Right.
Now I don't know if that was the case, but the text that I read between the mother and the injuries I heard just lead me to believe that the kid wasn't wearing pants. Which is so bizarre. What's the point? What is so it can hurt more? I don't understand why you need to bring in the fact that you now have to get naked.
I think that it is. Yes. So like there's no if it's like get over my knee so I can spank your ass, so there's no cushion whatsoever between your hand or whatever you're hitting them with and their bare skin. Mm. So maximum force is being used.
And then you said there's been times I wanted to. I I got to be honest, man. I know. I realize that I got two kids who up until this point, I see kids when I'm out in public.
And it's unreal.
And I'm
right?
like, hey man, maybe I should get a switch for that guy.
Right, yeah.
But I gotta say, my kids have never acted in any way. They were right from the get go. They had a maturity that defied their age in terms of acting up and acting out in public. Or there was never a situation where they became uncontrollable or did something so bad that you would be like, I have no options here other than to hit them.
Right.
It just
which
never
doesn't
happened.
seem,
but I'm lucky though.
It doesn't seem like it would calm them.
But what do you? Okay, so do you think he had the pants off?
I feel like he probably had the pants off. Yeah. Now, also, I said to the guy on Twitter, I said, "What could a 4-year-old possibly have done that would warrant a fucking beating like this?" Like he has he may be scarred for life. The way the things I saw
mentally,
definitely mentally,
because he's now the kid that fucking probably is going to bring down Adrian Peterson. He's always going to be known as like. And you think the father, Adrian Peterson, is ever going to look at that kid in any way, shape, or form other than like resentful?
Right.
Because he's a mental case.
I can't believe you made me beat your ass, and now
Yes.
I'm the fucking,
I'm the villain.
I'm the villain. Yeah, I'm the bad guy.
But the dude has from what I see, he must have 15 kids.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
He had one kid that he never even met that died last year.
How old was he?
2 years old.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
I mean, I know this dude's a millionaire, man. Buy some fucking condoms, bro. Don't have any more kids. Don't have any more kids. Did you see? There's another accusation. There's a second.
From a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, like the mother of another kid is like, why does he have a bandage on his head? What'd you do? He goes, he got a whooping in the back of the car. She goes, what did you hit him with? And he doesn't answer it. And she goes, he goes, I got teary eyed and felt bad, but he deserved it.
Yeah.
It says here he's got a minimum of 5 children with multiple women.
Minimum of 5?
With multiple women.
I've heard more than that. I've read more than that. There's speculation he has double digits. Do you think prior to that? And I know this is very
I lean
judgmental.
towards believing you. I lean towards your numbers. Yeah.
This is very judgmental because I don't know, but professional athlete in the limelight, not married to any of the. I don't believe any of them. I don't know if he's married or not, but what kind of relationship do you think he has with those kids in between not switching them?
Little to none.
I don't know. I mean, he must have spent some time with them, though.
I mean, you can't even speculate. I mean, the only sign of the relationship we know he has with his kids is that he switches
at
them.
least 2 of them.
I mean, when you have but I'm saying if you have 11 kids, how difficult is it to have a relationship with that many kids when they're spaced all over the country?
It's not possible. That's why I like when you see that Duggar family that has 20 kids and they have a TV show about it.
Yeah.
It's the Duggars, right?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
The Mormon. They're on TLC and they have 20
But
kids.
don't
Like
they all live
18
in the same
counting.
house?
They all live in the same house.
Then I could see having somewhat of a relationship. Then.
The older ones take care of the younger ones. But I don't think you can truly give
that one-on-one.
Yeah, it's not possible.
You can't even give them each an hour a day.
Right.
Like, it's just not possible. You have to sleep at some point.
Yeah, and you just keep going. That to me is, like, people celebrate it and they're, they got their own TV show and all this other shit. To me, I think they're mentally ill.
Why? Because they have that many kids?
I think there's something wrong with people that need to have that many children. Fucking 20 kids? It's almost like the dude. Now this is total speculation on my part. It's probably not true. In fact, I'll say it's not true, but I'm like, dude, are you gay and you only want to fuck this slob once a year and keep her pregnant so that way, like, you don't have to keep doing it?
That's harsh.
I know it's harsh. Maybe.
I mean,
even the word
It's a theory.
is particularly harsh.
That may be uncalled for. And they've done that family's done nothing wrong. Let's stay in Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
He's got enough light
you're
on
right.
your
You're right.
eyes compared to this.
Yeah.
You're going after that family.
Yeah, I think that's weird though to want that many kids to think that there's some god that's like, yes, you must multiply. And I'm not even going to get into the fucking, then those 20 kids have kids and we're already strained for resources and all this other fucking
But what do you
bullshit.
think? What did the NFL? What do they do?
In a situation like this, look,
You're the commissioner. What do you do? Brian Johnson, you've just taken over.
Brian Johnson, I've taken over as commissioner of the NFL.
Based upon your love of sports. They listen to Puck Nuts and like, we got to get this guy on board.
They heard me on Puck Nuts, and they're like, "This is the dude. This is the guy that we want to be commissioner of the NFL." I
don't think they did anywhere near anything enough. I mean, the league hasn't really acted upon him.
Well, it's not illegal. That's the thing, and that's what I think is
illegal.
Fucked up. What, to hit your kid?
Well, I mean, if you go, you cross the line, and it looks like he did.
I believe he crossed the line too, but then any attorney will argue like, well, where's the line? The line is very vague and not black and white.
And I think they got to wait because you can only do, if I recall correctly, because they said with Rice, you can only punish them once. You can't get a second bite of the apple. So, like with Ray Rice, you got to, they waited until Well,
they did punish him twice.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No.
Yes, they did. They suspended him for the first two games, and then the video came out, and they took away.
The team did it. The team did it, not
the league.
Not the NFL.
Well, the team and the league are almost the same entity.
No. Not when it comes to the NFL. The teams are their own individual units. So that's why the team deactivated this guy and then brought him back already.
Yeah, well,
you're talking about Adrian Peterson?
Yeah,
I'm talking about Ray Rice.
But I'm talking about the NFL suspended him twice, and then they couldn't do anything when the video came out. That's why the team because they came over, the Ravens came over their Twitter and said, we now suspended him. He's no longer plays for us.
Well, I was about to say,
should the Vikings have done more? Let him come. I couldn't believe too that day after it happened, or the day. All I see online, this shows you how horrible a society we are. There's so many people were complaining like that certain fantasy football leagues weren't allowing.
I saw that.
Weren't allowing you to drop him for that week. He wasn't playing, and I was just like, "Oh my god,
this is the shit people care about." Yeah.
This is unbelievable, man. Mm-hmm. This is what is more important, or not more important, but this is what's got so many people in uproar. Is like they can't drop him for their fantasy league.
Right. That's and there are people who are genuinely like that ruined their week. Ruined their week.
What are you supposed to do? I agree with those people.
What do you mean you agree with them?
Because you got him in your lineup and he's not getting any stats.
There's a lot of money in those wrapped up in those leagues.
But
what are you supposed to care about every kid?
But in the grand scheme of things, it is so insensitive to come out and be like, I want to be able to suspend him to drop him from my fantasy league. Come on, man, fucking.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Stop being a fucking crybaby, whine about everything, bitch. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I said on
a lot of money in those leagues. That's all I'm saying.
There's a model. I mean, there's probably a lot of money in the reason why he's not fucking suspended for the whole year.
Who are we talking about?
He's the face of that organization.
Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's the face of. He's an NFL player that is. His face is used a lot to promote the league. Right. He's a star.
Not anymore.
Well, he's playing this week.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened to the fucking the dog beating guy.
Endorsements. Michael Vick doesn't get endorsements anymore.
No,
and shit like that.
But he's still going to play and get his salary though. He's still going to play and have an effect, and people are still going to have to root for him if that's your team, right?
Yes, you're right.
Could you root for him on your team, Q? He's on your Manchester United,
right?
Or he's on your beloved Yankees. Which you had a fucking beater on that team, too. I never heard you once come out against Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah,
He's in the hot seat now.
So get him. What's did you call Walt up? Yeah, it would be tough.
Isn't it just put you in a position you're like, that's my team, and you're like, it just ruins. I mean, which it should be shocking because we're talking about human beings who fuck up, but I mean, everybody puts these guys in such high regard and pedestals, though.
Right, like if that was someone's neighbor, they would condemn them. But since he's a fucking football star, you know, they defend him.
Right.
And I said on Twitter, I was like, look, man, like if you hit your wife, you're a piece of shit wife beater. If you fucking punch a guy in a bar, you get charged with aggravated assault.
Right.
Like if you caused those injuries to a fucking dog, you would get arrested and be charged. But like a fucking little kid, a 4-year-old kid, like there's the argument of like, well, it's his parents, so he should be able to
parenting.
Yeah, parent him as he sees fit.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah.
The Bible.
I had a run-in with the police. This is going back years ago. You guys know about this, but one time I went down to my sister's house. It was my niece's birthday, my older niece, and I was supposed to pick up my niece, my nephew, and Sage. I pull up, I get out of the car, and I just hear screaming and like bloody murder type shit. So I go into the house, and my sister's drunk, and her asshole boyfriend is drunk, and he's posturing my nephew, who at the time is probably 13 or 14 or something. Suzanne scoops up Sage, who, you know, God, she must have been, at this point, she was like 3, 4. She's crying. She scoops her up, carries her out of the house, tells my other niece to come with her. And I go, what the fuck is going on in here? And the guy starts giving me static, getting up in my face. So I grab him by the throat and slam him down onto a dining room table that collapses, and he's trying to get away, and I'm holding him down by the throat. And I said to him, I said, if you get up, I said, I'm going to kill you. I said, I'm going to let you go. You're going to walk out that fucking door, and you're not going to turn around. So he took the second option. Now, without going too much into detail, I talked to the police later on because it became a thing. This is actually the first of 2 altercations I got into with this guy. And I'm talking to the cop, and he says, well, we can't really do anything because your sister has designated him as the father figure in the house. And I said, wait a second. So he can hit those kids, but if I hit him, then I get charged?
Right.
And he said, yeah, that's the way it goes.
That is fucking crazy.
Now, yeah, to me, that was like incomprehensible. And, you know, Sage wasn't spending a lot of time at my sister's house then anyway, just like now. So it didn't like go much further than that. But, like I obviously have never hit her. She's gotten a little bit older, like just recently within the last couple months, a little bit more defiant. Like she won't do certain things. She's not listening as well, but to hit her, to even swat her on the ass. Right. Like there's like every once in a while, like we'll share like an iced tea or something. We put in 2 straws, like, you know, and we'll both sip at the same time. She thinks it's funny. And whenever we do it, she'll sip, like she'll go down and sip, and then she like looks up at me, and she has like those big brown eyes. And I can't even for a fucking millisecond imagine those eyes having like a hint of betrayal or fear or anxiety, or like for almost 9 years, Dada was cool. And now he's fucking hitting me because I didn't listen. I can't even conceive of doing that to her, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a time where like my older niece, she hit because she said Sage cursed, and this is gone years back. How Sage could curse, I don't know. Like at the time, especially, you wouldn't even be able to know what she talked about. And Sage came up crying, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was like, Sage said a bad word, and they had a thing in their house where like if somebody said a bad word, they would like smack each other's hands. Right. And Sage was little. She was like 3 or 4. And so my older niece smacked her hand, and I said, don't ever do that again. And Tracy goes, oh, well, it's like this thing we do. I said, it's not a thing you do anymore. I said, And if I find out you hit her, I swear to Christ, it won't be me, but somebody will beat the living shit out of you. I was so fucking mad. And then she's like, fuck you. And I'm like, no, fuck you. And like, I don't play. I don't play when it comes to that shit. It really, really upsets me. And I can't understand anybody who would make their platform like, no, we need to fucking retain the rights to fucking kick our kids' asses.
Right.
You know? And I understand, like, when they get older, like me at 15, 16,
Right.
25. Of course, I'm sure Edgar, you know, probably had reason to be frustrated beyond belief. But you also look back and you're like, it's a child. Like when you talk about a 4-year-old child, it's like how much of it is their fault versus how much of it is you have fucking 15 kids, asshole. Like how about you don't have 15 kids, you spend some time with them, and then maybe they won't behave in a way that, you know, you believe deserves a switching.
Right.
But how many?
You know?
I mean, the mentality though, like what the just the mindset to like to do it more than once.
Oh God.
Yeah, like when you see that first welch, you're not like, oh shit.
Oh God.
Like, I gotta
Yeah.
fucking stop.
What did I just do? I
Right,
checked
right.
myself into a mental facility.
And like I said, dude, and there's something. Of course, you always jump to the conclusion of dark place when you hear him acknowledge that he saw the nuts get hit.
Right. How?
You jump to in this day and age, you're programmed to be like, whoa.
Why were his nuts out?
Yeah.
It could have been the kid said it. You know, you hit me in the nuts.
No, he said it.
Yeah, I'm saying the kid could have told him, and he told the baby mama.
What 4-year-old knows the word nuts?
Yeah,
Nowadays?
or balls, or like, did you realize at 4 you had like?
Yeah, you're
Nuts.
It's
Yeah, you would say like,
Pee-pee.
and also
Wiener.
in one of the reports it said that this kid told the police that this guy Peterson has a spanking room.
oh my God.
That could be anything, but when you hear that stuff, you're like, is he into
It's just
spanking
weird.
kids?
Just abuse it. Yeah, yeah.
I saw one tweet that said the kid said, "Daddy has lots of belts in his closet."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
I saw
quote.
that, too.
After
Okay.
that quote is the same thing that he has a special room.
See, like, if this is a one-time event, like, there's no history of this, there's no spanking room, there's no nut talk. Commissioner Johnson is like, look, this is completely unacceptable. You need to go to parenting classes. Once you complete those parenting classes, then you're off suspension. Do it again, and you're done. You're off the team for good. Because, yes, there are some. I mean, fuck, my parents
But what if-
fucking
what
hit
if-
me all the
My mom
time.
did too. I had a special spoon. It was that
Chased
freaking
with-
wood spoon with the hole in
Yeah,
the center.
me too.
Yeah,
I had a wooden spoon, yeah.
The old
Yeah.
wooden
Yeah,
spoon.
I can only
And
recall
coat hangers.
getting hit
Wait, and what?
two
Coat-
times
yeah,
in my
plastic
whole
ones.
life
Oh,
by my
shit.
parents.
Was it your mom?
Yeah,
Was it your mom?
yeah, but like very young though,
Mm-hmm.
and not hard.
Right.
Not hard. Like it's just like nothing that would make you go like, you know, just like you like kind of like grabbed you and swatted you on the back
Right. Like get moving or whatever. Yeah, right. Exactly.
because I was fucking throwing a fit in a store and I wanted
Mm-hmm.
a toy or something. You know, just grab the toy out of hand and just, you know, smack you on the
Yeah,
backside to
like
get
move it
moving.
along. Yeah.
But certainly,
Yeah, Pam was no slouch. Like she kept up with Edgar. Like she would chase you with that wooden spoon and like want to like beat your ass with
I
it.
remember my mother doing that, going like, "Come here." She would yell at me to come over here.
Would she use the middle name?
No, not the name, but like the fact that she told me to come over there, I was just like, "Wait, I'm not coming over there. Like you're gonna hit me."
Oh, if you don't come over here, it's just going to get worse.
The most violent Pam ever got with me, and it was pretty weird, was I was in 9th grade and my friend Chris was over. We worked at a local restaurant together. We were dishwashers. He was staying the summer because he lived down in South Jersey, so he came up and would stay the summer, and we worked as dishwashers. And my mother was out for some reason. There was nothing in the house, and I went to the freezer, and there were pork chops. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll cook pork chops for lunch. I mean, we were hungry. So Pam comes home, and she sees like, you know, the pork chop aftermath and goes, did you eat those pork chops? And I said, yeah, we had them for lunch.
How old are you again?
15.
Okay.
And she goes, that was supposed to be dinner. And I said, well, I didn't know that. and she fucking winds up and like I just wasn't expecting it. I mean, and slaps me across the face so fucking hard that like
so
my
weird, man.
ear like rang. And I remember going, fuck this. And I left the house and walked down the street. And my mother was big into like, if I got frustrated or angry or whatever as a kid, she would just like keep going at you. She wouldn't let you like walk it off or like let things calm down. She would keep at you. And walking down to the end, well, you know where I live, so like walk down to where like that power station is. There's that house right before it. And you go up the like I walked up through his yard and he had like all these like decorative stones and stuff. And she was following me, and I picked up a rock, which was roughly like the size of like if you took like half a basketball. Right. You know, like you shrunk a basketball down, and I hucked it at her. I tried to hit her with it because I was like, get away, you fucking crazy bitch. You know, hucked it at her and took off, and she's like, come back here, you know. But it's like maybe it was financial pressure. Like, I don't know at the time. Maybe she was like, that's all the food we had. Now you just ate dinner. I just can't imagine coming home and Sage is like, oh, I ate this for a snack. And next thing you know, like she has a burst eardrum because I'm rocking her in the side of the head. It's like, I think it breeds fear and anxiety and betrayal and anger, and with all this, especially lately with all this fucking bullshit about like, don't bully at school. It's like, but you're showing, so corporal punishment is showing kids like it's okay to settle things with violence.
Yeah, that's how I remember saying to my mother when I was a kid, and she would get into it, that wooden spoon.
You want another crack?
I'd just be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, that's exactly what I said to her. I remember being a kid and being like, so hit. I'm like, so just hit people when I disagree with them. Yeah. But then, then you...
What you grew up to do.
Yeah, you're right about that. But, what the fuck? It just proves that parents don't know anything any more than we do.
Yeah.
Poor Gitem's getting beat with a fucking coat hanger.
Oh, I remember
she was going for a late-term abortion.
It was a plastic coat hanger. I remember she hit me with the plastic coat hanger once, and the plastic coat hanger broke. So then the spoon came out to hit me for breaking the plastic hanger.
That was her only hanger. It's a good hanger, you son of a bitch. Yeah, the Adrian Peterson thing. Yeah, I don't. I guess when you hear the belts and the nuts and all that shit, I think I'd be like, you know what, we don't really need you on our team.
How much does it suck to be a football fan? Like, all you want to do is just sit down and just watch football, and it's just like,
and then you have this is like.
That's why I'd be pissed. I'd be like, motherfucker, it's the one day a week. I get to fucking sit there with my friends and watch this shit and calm down and not think about work, not deal with my fucking wife, not deal with my family. And now I got to turn on the television and listen to fucking, as if I did something wrong, fucking pundits telling me why it's wrong to hit my wife, who I've never hit. It's just like, and this is my son. I'd be like fucking, fuck Ray Rice should die, because now I got, and like in recent years now, if you turn on a football program, it's always like a guy and a girl. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not just it's not a boys club anymore. So now you turn on the television, it's just like, are they right? She's right. But I'm trying to watch fucking football, and now I got to hear about domestic violence for a fucking half hour. I don't even want to watch football anymore. It's just like, why is my entertainment being turned into a fucking teachable
lesson?
Like a PSA. Yeah. It's like, I just want to watch fucking football. Like, I didn't do anything wrong.
But they can't ignore it, Q. It's too huge.
I know they can't ignore it.
And if they ignore it, they're gonna. And if the networks ignore it, they're going to be called out on the carpet for ignoring it.
Yeah.
I know, but
there's no win.
I know, there's no win, but it's like, that's my Sunday. It's like all the time in social school fucking class.
I heard that there were people, they showed up to the games wearing Peterson jerseys, and they were catching hell from the other fans. And
that was in New England, right?
I know a guy who had a Hernandez jersey, and he used to go to the bar all the time and tell everyone it was related to Hernandez. Then the guy got found guilty for murder, and he's pissed off that he can't wear his Hernandez jersey anymore.
Oh, is that the guy that was like in the gang and all that stuff?
No, that was the guy who shot the guy and tried to cover it up. And...
he had like an extra apartment or whatever, I remember.
No,
this was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, not too long ago, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean...
They can't ignore it. But,
Q, you bring, I mean, you eloquently
Well, thank
put
you.
that out there. That that's an aspect that a lot of people probably don't realize. That it's like they have to hear it over and over again, almost feel guilty for watching their football.
I mean, it was no Joe Pa soliloquy, but it was pretty good.
Right. I mean that's how
Summed it
I
up,
feel.
Q. You summed it up, and Bry summed it up.
All right.
And I think you guys should be co-commissioners of the NFL.
Oh, really?
I think you guys could clean. I think you guys could do the job.
I'll be like
Clean
clamp
up the
down on
league.
the abuse shit, people. Like these people trying to enjoy the game.
Yeah. There's guys trying to fucking kill each other out there on the field.
Tell him, Steve, Dave.
My soul meets the ground, I will find you. Beneath what shadowed you, out of the vocation of will, I walk beside you. Separate the light from the discolor. Tonight resting in it, burning guilt, cleansing the shell of life to will. If you want it, it's yours to steal. Tonight resting in it, burning guilt, cleansing the shell of life to will. If you want it, it's yours to steal. Every place is still with vigilance, departing from the port of synthesis. Procreation will fill, breeding consequence, discretionary curse, blinder innocence. Tonight resting in advertent guilt, cleansing the shell of life to will. If you want it, it's yours to steal. Tonight resting in advertent guilt, cleansing the shell of life to will. If you want it, it's yours to steal.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.